money and money. Well, anyways, you get the idea, right? I'm not the best stage speaker.
But we know what you mean, though. We know what you mean. So it's skills. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you know, growing up throughout my whole life, grew up on a farm. So I was able to attain knowledge. I do big land deals now. So coming from a farm, 6,000 acres, I know everything about land there is to know about land. Um, and what I was missing was more knowledge on real estate. So when you met me, I was a systems guy, kind of getting mentored by a guy that knew about that.
Yeah.
That was like my missing piece for how to do real estate and land, how to put it together.
Yeah.
And I got abundant time. Like I'm single dude, still single actually. If any ladies looking, I'm here.
Oh snap! Oh snap! Closers will close. Closers will close.
Yeah, no kids, no girlfriend. Got abundance of time. So once I was able to get the skills and knowledge on the land, and how to market it and how to close it, I knew about finance already. That was kind of my job before I got into real estate. I just put everything together. I ended up contacting a guy, get 220 some acres in the hill country north of San Antonio. I contracted it, didn't know how I was going to do it, but I put it under contract, paid him $1,500 a month for an option for like 10 months. Finally figured it out. Did a creative finance deal. We actually offered him, initially we offered the guy zero money down, and we just profit share.
Oh snap!
So I had the time and I had the money. I had the time and I had the knowledge. So, and he knew that by the rapport we built. And I said, so we can just profit share. We don't have to do a transaction. We'll just profit share on this. I'll develop it out for you, and then you can make more money on the back end than what we originally agreed on. And he came back. His negotiation back was, I just want to pay off my debt. Give me 10% down, and I'll give you 4 years with it. You don't have to give me any payments. And I was like, bet. Let me figure out how to come up with $370,000. So it was a $3.7 million deal. Let me figure out how to come up with $370,000. As soon as we signed the contract, I made sure to put in it that we could start marketing the property as soon as we had the contract. We had a 60-day close after that. So the very day we signed the contract, we listed it. The next day we sold the 60 acres for $1.4 million.
Yo, that's crazy. Okay, I want to say this really quick because I know we only have a few minutes. Yo, this is what is so dope about real estate. That if you listen to the way Evan started off, he said it's all about leverage, right? You got to leverage your skills, leverage your knowledge, leverage your time, right? And he was able to get a deal under contract without using any of his own money, and get the deal sold for how much revenue did that bring?
So we didn't sell the whole thing. We're actually still selling the property, but we were able to sell 60 of the 222 acres as is for about $25,000 an acre. We bought for about $16,500 an acre.
Oh my God! Run the math, run the numbers, y'all, and you can take that to the bank.
Yeah. So instead of us having, he wanted $370,000 down, right? So he had technically a first lien on how we did the creative finance. So I went back to him. This is the day after we signed, like 2 days after we signed the contract, and I said, hey, instead of giving you $370,000 down, if I can give you $1 million down, can I take the rest of the money on the first deal? And he's like, you're gonna do that in 60 days. Little did he know that it's already sold. I already have 60 acres sold. So he said, yeah, no, if you give me $1 million down, you can have whatever's remaining as long as it's not over X amount of money. So at close, not only did I put zero funds into it, I also got a $300,000 check after all the closing costs.
Oh my God, bro! I don't know. Yeah, those of you on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn, can y'all hear? I don't know. Can y'all hear? Put in the comment section if y'all can hear, because I know we're what if y'all can hear. You're hearing Evan Price breaking down a multiple six-figure deal in profits and it's actually a 7-figure deal in terms of what he was able to leverage and pull in, and still working the deal, not even finished with the deal. Absolutely incredible. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, ask us right here. Okay, so they say they can't hear you. Beautiful, beautiful. So Manny says, Evan, if you can help us with this before we tune out. I know it's already nighttime and you got to head out to the ranch. And we need, I want to honor your time. But Manny asked this question. He says, and I am Josie Marie says in reference to what you said. She says leverage with the on fire heart emoji.
We just read about that today.
I opened it. We literally just read about it. What does it say?
The how you might remember.
Fact.
Because he was saying the same thing. It's business skills, money management skills, and investment.
Yes. It's all about leverage, y'all. So Manny asked this question. How do you answer this, Evan, in a nutshell? How does OPM work? For someone young like me, how would someone trust me and do business with me is what he's asking. How do you answer that?
What OPM is, I don't follow the lingo.
Oh yeah. That's a slang investment term for other people's money. That's exactly what you're talking about. That's just what we call it in our demographic, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say you got to have some sort of skill and the knowledge set, right? If you don't have money, like that's why I always say that and tell everybody that it's time, knowledge / skills, and money. You got to have 2 of the 3. Like most people try to get into this and they either have a skill, but they don't have time, or they don't have money, or they have the knowledge and the skills, but they don't have time. They always have one thing, but they don't have one more, and that's all you're lacking to gain the world, right? So like I have investor friends, they have tons of money, 0 time, and tons of skills, and they're like, hey, I'll give you money because you got time and you got the knowledge and the skills. I know I can make a return with you, but I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
Right. It's all like every factor, every way you put it, there's somebody that doesn't have that, and you can come in and fill that void.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you gotta have 2. So, that's what I always tell people. Like they're like, how do you know so much about land? I'm like, well, I grew up doing it. I grew up farming from the age of 9 years old, carrying grain buckets to the cattle and feeding the calves, to farming in the fields. Like, I don't know how to teach you that. Like, give me 10 years of your life and I'll teach you about land. But like that's not practical, right?
Yeah.
So what I would say is just what are you good at? What do you already have some baseline knowledge in? And then how do you learn about real estate? If that's what we're talking about, how do you learn about real estate or whatever you're doing? And then employ that with either time, or employ with money, right? And that's how you make it.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of people like, I want to do land too, and they're like a city slicker. They know nothing about real estate, and they're like, I'm gonna do a $100 million deal, and I'm like, I don't know how you think you're gonna do that, like unless you have just gobs of money, right?
Yeah. I love this. So what I just heard from what you said was, while you're being realistic, it's also optimistic and exciting because it goes to show. So let's say you're somebody who's listening to this, like the gentleman who asked the question, which was Manny 5. He says, yo, like I'm young. Y'all are talking about other people's money. How do I leverage it if I'm young, and who would invest in me? And so basically what I'm hearing Evan say is, it's not a lack of resources that stops you from your goal. It's a lack of resourcefulness. So you watch this. Based on what Evan said, you may not even have the knowledge and skills. You may not have the money. You may not have the credit to do a deal or the know-how. But if you have the time, then you can still be a valuable asset in just about any deal. If you and I want to add something, if you have the time and a good attitude, a pleasing personality, and you have the time and the work ethic, man, you can insert yourself in just about any deal if you're taking the initiative. Now, what if you want to gain a little bit more equitable interest in deals? Well, you can take your time and utilize it to invest in your knowledge and skills so that now you can have more equitable interest in securing deals, marketing for deals, contracting deals, and now you're the person bringing an equitable interest to an investor who might have the money and or credit, you know what I mean, or additional expertise to get the deal done, right? Am I capturing your thought, Evan?
Yeah. And one thing I just want to say too, this is a little bit off topic, but I mean it's still on topic, just going a different way. Is most people don't know how to learn, right? Actually, one of my good friends, I can't say who he is, but he's writing a book right now that's called Learning to Learn. You know him, Aaron, but anyways, I'm not supposed to say anything. He doesn't even know, but in 6 months when you see it drop, you'll know who I'm talking about. But most people are like, oh man, I know I need to learn this information. I know I need to figure out where I can get this information. Like there's so much resources. We have this thing called the internet.
Yeah.
Where they just give everything away for free. You know, knowledge and skills like away for free. I learned how to wire the entire house, like electrical, not going to school for it. Learn how to wire the whole house to code by a YouTube video. Like doing 70 hours of YouTube video learning. Did a whole house by myself. Inspector came out. He goes, you know, to check it. He's like, no, this looks good. He's like, you must have paid somebody really good to do it this way. Like, no, actually, you know, I didn't. I couldn't tell him I did it because I'm not an electrician. You know, he just failed me right there. But I passed the code because I learned how to do it off of 70 hours of YouTube videos. Right? So that's like with anything. Like if you look at my YouTube, actually, there's actually a stat where you can pull up how much YouTube you watch.
Yeah. I
have some like crazy amount. I don't want to say off top because I don't remember what it is, but it's like it's literally like 150 days of watch time on YouTube.
Yeah.
Now, there's some fun stuff thrown into that too, but I would say 70% of it is just knowledge-based stuff. Yeah. Like I don't know I'm going to need this, but it might come in helpful if I'm doing a creative finance deal in the future. Yeah. Right.
I love that.
Like today I've never done a novation agreement. I know what it is. I know how to write it up. I know how to do it. Don't know when I'm going to use it today. We're down looking at 31 acres for 400,000. It's way too much for me to go in and cash buy it. Yeah. Because there's not enough room there. I said, hey, what if we do some sort of novation? It's on market too. Like it's not like a off market great deal or anything. I told the realtor, let's do some sort of novation where I go in, I develop it. It just needs to be cleared out. We'll subdivide it into 3 tracts, over 10 acres apiece, which is agriculturally exempt. That's what I do. And I think we can make I'll be able to make another like 60,000 on the property. You know, we'll give him full asking price. Like all these offers coming in that are $50,000-$60,000 below, I'll give them full asking price and I'll make $60,000 after I improve it. Right? But never done it before, and the guy's like, oh, that sounds pretty good actually. But yeah, I'll just hand you this property and let you make 60 grand. Yeah,
I love that. We were just talking about that principle right now. Cece just got her first 3 contracts. So she locked up like $36,000 worth of conservative projected revenue in the last few weeks. And dude, same thing. Like she learned just enough of what she needed in order to stumble her way to success. You know what I mean? It doesn't look pretty in the process. It's like kind of like making little mistakes and it's but it's still
learning as I go.
Yeah, literally learning while she's going and like securing in a few weeks what somebody would generate in an entire year full time at a W-2 average. You know, so I love that you're bringing this up because you're talking about 6-figure deals, Evan. You're talking about 7-figure deals, and it's the same thing. So that's so encouraging to everybody here.
Let me ask you this. I think I know the answer already. But let me ask you a question. What's for most people, what's the one thing holding them back from getting deals?
Oh, bro. Man, that's such a good question because I feel like it
could be multiple things.
The most like relevant for most people.
I think fear of rejection is a big one.
I would have to say emotional resilience, dude. Like Most people who are even in the realm playing the game, okay? Most people who are even in the realm playing the game know what they need to do in order to be successful. Cece just started learning this. And you know, she'll tell you she's not an expert, but she started taking action because she felt secure enough to like make mistakes along the way. So I would say the emotional resilience to overcome the fear of sounding dumb and making a mistake. That is that it's exactly what Cece said,
Yeah.
right? How did you put it?
I said the fear of rejection.
It's the fear of rejection and the fear of failing. That is the biggest thing that's holding most people back. It's fear and or doubt in some way, shape, or form, Evan.
Yep.
I feel like that is it.
I knew you were going to say that. I 100% agree, right? Like, and just to say why I asked that question was to kind of lead into this is I get a lot of people like, oh man, you're lucky. I like that drives me mad when people tell me I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Like, where were you from July of 2022 to April of 2023 when I was so broke that I was living month to month, you know, and everything was telling me just to quit and go back to a W-2.
Mm-hmm.
Luck
Right?
doesn't have anything to do with it.
$80,000 in debt, right? By the time April 2023 came around. Before that, I had, you know, while I worked W-2, I had a $125,000 a year job. All my bills were covered. Had a big old 401k. Had a boat. Had a nice truck. Everything, right? Towards the back end of 2 years, had zero boat. Barely could make my truck payment anymore. Cashed out my 401k. Depleting my savings account. Living month to month on paycheck, racking up $80,000 in credit card debt for 10 months, right? It's emotional resilience.
That's right.
Right. So going from that, like when I got that $300,000 check, I took a picture of it in my bank account.
Yeah.
Like, just in case I never see that amount of kind of money again, just take a picture of it real quick. And then that day I paid off $80,000 in credit card.
Come on. Okay, real quick.
To be able to do that though.
Right. Okay, I have a question for you, real quick, before we hop off this, Evan. There are many people who, in their mind, it seems so far-fetched that they would ever close and clear a $300,000 check in one fell swoop of a wire transaction. What did that feel like? And don't give me no, I want the real deal because we want to inspire people, bro. Like, be honest with, like, what did that feel like to go from eating doo-doo for doggone, you know, for an extended period of time to being like, yo, like, I actually manifested this and I made more money in a year than the average top 10% income earner in the richest country, you know, makes in a year annually. You know what I mean? Like, what did that feel like?
Yeah. You know, honestly, when I hit my account, I was like kind of prepared for it. So like, not that I was like numb when I hit the account, but I was like already like went through all the excitement because up until closing, like that when we sold it, I was like, oh man, like I'm gonna make that check. Like I knew how much money I was gonna make, but in that closing period, we had a shit ton of stuff go wrong, right? Like you know,
it's like traumatizing, right?
Yeah. So there was like 3 times we just about lost it, and I was like, well, guess I'm just $80,000 in debt. But like probably like 7 days, I don't know the exact timeline, but 7 days before we had everything buttoned up. It was just like waiting on closing, and that's when I was like, that's when like the feeling hit me, and I was like, oh my god, I just made $300,000. Like, you know, it was. I guess when I hit my account, it was just real.
Yeah.
But like the excitement was there for like 7 days.
Yeah.
What was
The anticipation,
song
right?
you listened to?
Oh, that's such a good question, dude.
Like what is the go-to song?
What's that?
Ask it again. He didn't hear you.
What is the go-to song? Like when you had the check in your hands, what was the song that you had playing? Music.
Okay. Yeah. So my go-to song. I'm a country boy, right? And it's not country. I'm a country boy, and I don't know why I love this song so much, but my pump up track is still Dre.
Oh. I was not expecting that right now. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, my man just hit us with the plot twist. He's like, I'm a country boy. We're talking about like dispositioning ranches and stuff. And he
I
was
was like expecting like RuPaul's
yeah.
advice.
I thought he was gonna hit us with a country artist. My man said, but my pump up song is still Dre.
It's just what it is.
I love it. Okay, real quick. But before we take you off this, Evan, because I know you got to get back to driving. What advice would you give for? Or did you have any other questions about his story? Because that was a really good one.
Awesome.
What advice would you give to individuals who are just getting started in the business and they're hearing your story and they're just so turned on by what you have, what you said, and so excited about and inspired? What advice would you give to just the average person who's listening to this, who wants to one day be doing multiple six-figure deals like you?
The best thing I can say is the same advice from a good friend, Ryan Pineda. He said, Evan, I was doing multiple things in the last year before I hit that, and he said, Evan, you got to niche down. He's like, you're doing all these things, and all these things are making a little bit of money, but you know what the $1 million business is. Like, right? Every business takes you have so many things to do in every single business, right? If you can just complete all of them, they'd all be $1 million businesses, but you don't have that amount of time. You don't have that 10,000 hours to become a master in all of them. You can't be doing 8 things and expect to have 80,000 hours to become a master, right? So it's just niche down. And when I took Ryan's advice and niche down and got rid of everything else, that's when life started happening and success started happening. I started seeing the destination on the horizon versus $1,000 here, $1,000 there, $400 affiliate fee there, right? Boom, this is all I do. And even to this day, when people ask me, hey, you want to buy an RV park? I can look at it like a super great deal. And I'm like, no, it's not what I do.
That's like essentialism.
Yeah, I was just going to say he's basically saying to focus.
Yeah, I love that, dude. We just finished reading a book called Essentialism, me and Cece, by Greg McKeown. And he talks about how all of the great masters and successful people throughout history, if you look at their story, they are individuals who niched down to the 1 to 2 things that were important, the one that isolated and become very, very clear and precise about what it was that they were focusing on, and isolated and only did what was important to advancing that interest, that agenda, no matter what it is, whether it's spirituality or finance or literature or whatever it is, or business, right? Niching down and really focusing on one thing for an extended period of time is the way to mastery and success.
Yeah. Have you ever looked at the
Man, that got me fired up.
Have you ever looked at the billionaire list?
The billionaire list, I have not known.
If you look at what billionaires do, because they all report Forbes, go on Forbes and search the billionaire list. And it'll drop you down of who the person is, how much money they do, and where their money came from.
I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down right now, bro. On Forbes.
Very, very seldomly, it never says more than 2 things. Like always one thing.
Wow.
Right?
That's crazy.
So like every once in a while you'll see like computers and internet. Like, okay, well those go kind of hand in hand, right? But it's not like computers, casinos, and real estate. Like, it's just one thing. Right? Look at the top 10 richest women in America. Right? They're like roofing, contract labor. Like it goes down like very fucking boring. Actually, sorry, I don't know if you touched on this, but very boring things. But there's just one thing. It's like she doesn't have a boutique clothes store. That's not where she made her money. She made it in roofing, right? She's the owner of that business, So I just, if I can say anything, get out of. I got buddies right now that could be super successful, like good friends of mine, and they're doing $500,000-$600,000 a year, right? They provide a good life for the family. They're doing 10 things. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like, what's the one thing that you could do $1 million next year? And they're like, well, I know what that is. I'm like, then why aren't you doing that? Like, why are you doing 10 things and making 100,000 from each? Shut all that shit down and just focus on one and make $1 million. Manage it. Figure out how to manage that one business. Grow it to multi-million-dollar so you can step away. Then go do something else.
Yeah.
Then go after it's running itself. Then go do something else. Right? It's only $1 million when you're not there. You got it. Go start your boutique clothing store after that. Right?
I love it. Evan, you're amazing. You're amazing. I appreciate you. Thanks for hopping on this, bro. Much love. And we will talk to you soon, my guy. Thanks for coming and serving the audience. Deuce.
Yeah. See you, bud.
Laters, dude. All right, so my guy Evan just came on and dropped massive value on this joint. It's 10:35, so we're getting ready to wrap up on this. I wanted to share 4 points that I took away, or at least 4 points that I'm reminded of based on what Evan had mentioned. And then if you want to mention any concluding thoughts, because CC, you're out here bossing it up. And basically what it is, hold on, let me see. Hold on 1 second, my guy. Let me see. What up, everybody? Okay, so basically the 4 steps to becoming a master at anything are, number 1, it's called unconscious incompetence. And what unconscious incompetence is, it means like you're unaware of how much you suck at something. Incompetence is like your inability to perform. So like if you're incompetent. So phase number 1 is you start doing something new and you don't even realize, because you're so ignorant of the topic, you don't even realize how much you suck at it. And that's called unconscious incompetence. That's not an insult. It's literally just a phase to becoming a master. The second phase is conscious incompetence. And basically what that is, okay, you're starting to learn a little bit more and put context together, and you realize now you know how much you suck because you're learning more about the process, and that's called conscious incompetence. Then the third phase of getting to becoming a master at any skill set that you want to learn is called conscious competence. So now you've learned and failed and reiterated and learned and failed and reiterated and done that process enough times so that now you're aware of how good you're becoming at it. And now whenever you put forth effort, you can successfully do whatever this task is that you're looking to accomplish, right? Whatever service or creation, that product, whatever it is, right? You're now consciously competent. Then the 4th level of mastery, this is the ultimate level of mastery. This is where all the masters exist. It's level 4 of mastery, and it's called unconscious competence. And basically what that means is that you're so good at doing this one thing that you can literally like zone out and you're even unaware of how good you are, right? That's like a Michael Jordan or like a Kobe. He had practiced so much, or like Steph Curry. This is unconscious competence right here. Let me illustrate it to you. Steph Curry has practiced the same shot so many times that whenever he was doing his commercial for, I forgot what brand it was, he was doing a commercial where he was shooting from the free throw line. They were telling him, you need to miss the shot for the commercial. He literally, for like 5 shots, he could not miss the shot. It's the craziest thing. they had this on record, like he was shooting, and they were like, Steph, you have to miss the shot, and he couldn't. But that's called unconscious competence, is because you become so good at something that you're unaware and unconsciously you can do it blindfolded. You can do it as a master. And so what it takes in order to become unconsciously unconsciously competent is reps and doing something consistently over an extended period of time. So I thought that was pretty cool. Those are the 4 steps for mastery, and I thought that went hand in hand in what Evan was talking about, and what Cece's doing. Like right now, she's doing the reps and stumbling her way through success, and it's uncomfortable in the first few phases, right?
Yeah. I'm just scared to make mistakes, especially like talking to people who know what they're doing. They've already been in the game for X amount of time. It's a little discouraging, but just have to keep going.
Thanks. What would you say has given you the courage and to be able to continue doing it and stumbling your way forward, even though you don't know everything?
I think the realization that it's going to be okay. Like it's not like it's the end of the world if you say the wrong thing or give a number or an offer that's too high. It's like not the end of the world. So I think it's just reality.
You are very logical. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Where did you read those for?
The 4 steps to mastery. I got this from Robert Greene, and then I was reminded of it by Layla Hormozi recently. So Robert Greene wrote a book called Mastery, and he refers to all 4 of these levels of mastery, which are the unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and then unconscious competence. And so I remember reading that, and then I recently, whenever we were driving recently from the gym, I was listening to Layla. Remember Layla, and Layla was talking about this in the on our drive home.
I don't remember it like that, but that's why I asked in case someone else was wondering where you got it from.
Yeah. So I got this from the book Mastery by Robert Greene. Gilmore says, I just came back in. What were the 4-3? What do you mean, bro? Re-ask the question, bro. Erica, what up? Makeup by Matt joined. Was good, fam. Makeup by Matt says it's her brains for me. Listen, Cece is the whole vibe. It's the brains, the beauty, and the booty.
I think that Gilmore Estates was talking about what you were just reading.
The four steps to mastery.
Yeah.
Number 1, it is unconscious incompetence. Whenever you start something new, you don't even know how much you suck because you don't know much about it. The number 2 is conscious incompetence, which is you start learning enough to know that, oh man, I really suck at this. Then conscious competence is when you've done the thing enough times so that consciously, whenever you put forth effort and are aware, you can perform the task to a reasonable degree. Then this is the final level of mastery. This is unconscious competence. This is when you're so good at something that without even trying, you're unaware of how good you are because it's so second nature to you. So I hope that makes sense. But Evan Price says, ETA now 12:45. Thanks for having me on. Hopefully someone took something from my long-windedness. Evan, we love you so much, bro. You're so sincere, multi-6-figure earner, future 7- and 8-figure earner. Evan is going to be somebody who he's probably going to run for president one day. I can just tell by his accent, you know what I mean? He's going to run for president one day. And ladies, he's single, he's handsome, and he's tall.
And he has time.
And he has time. What?
Is that he has time.
He has time. So ladies, hit up my man Evan Big Price because my guy's a whole catch out here, fam. Gilmore says I'll check that book out. Please do. Cece, also let them know what book we got the leverage from. Me and Cece are now reading another book.
Second couple book.
You should show all the cameras because we're in multiple.
Start here.
This is our book. Wait, hold on. Let's read it. It's called Retire Young, Retire Rich by Robert Kiyosaki. Retire Young, Retire Rich by Robert Kiyosaki.
We are only 1 chapter in, but it is so good.
So good, dude. Such a good book. Not even gonna lie. Makeup by Matt says y'all two are just straight fire. You're straight fire, Matt. You're straight fire, fam. Guys, I don't know if y'all saw me and Cece posted. We made a couple. We need to post more content from that photo shoot that we did. But we posted a couple like reels and pictures from our photo shoot and the stories. It went crazy. Like you guys loved it. But yeah, Makeup by Matt is the one who did the makeup for Cece.
Yeah, he did so good. He contoured everything I imagined, and I'm not really big on wearing makeup, but he executed perfectly.
Yeah, he had me feeling a whole way. I'm not even gonna lie. And he was super cool. Like he let me be in there whenever he did CC's makeup. And so it was cool just to be a part of the process. And we were in a like kind of a rush.
Yeah.
And he just executed. It was calm the whole time. I think we had like we drank, we sipped on a little some, and it was a whole vibe. Gilmore says the first 3 points, but you just went over it. Thank you. I love it. I love it. All right. What do you want to say, babe, before we hop off this thing?
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Wait, hold up. Makeup by Matt says so easy when she's already a babe. Speak, Matt. I'm telling you. Whole time I was over there biting my lip. Watching. But go ahead. My bad. I interrupted you.
Sorry, I was chewing watermelon. Thank you to everyone that tuned in to our spontaneous live on Labor Day. We've had fun. I've had fun.
Yeah, this has been a vibe. Shout out to all you guys all over social mediums who have tuned in. Me and Cece are going to be making a lot more content together. We have a whole lot of stuff that we're looking to do together. We have a big vision, and this is my nigga for real. So if I'm not supposed to say that, then I don't know. You heard it here first. Evan Big Price says, plug, I buy land, 50 plus acres. Love paying massive assignment fees. I love being around rich people because rich people talk that talk and they walk that walk. So Evan, we love you. We appreciate you. And until next time, it's your boy, Aaron Bevins. And Sierra Monique.
Good night, guys.
Till next time, let's get it. Deuces. By the way, y'all, we should do a poll and like flood Sierra's DMs and tell her to date me.
Oh.
Tell Sierra Monique to date me.
I don't even know.
I'm trying to holla at her. You know what I'm saying? Good night, y'all.
How do I end this one?
Deuce.